Hello everybody, I'm here on the calendar page, and as you can see we have a holiday this week. So for that reason I've moved a few things around. You'll see that discussion that normally due Wednesday is due on Thursday this week, and the second installment on the discussion is due Saturday instead of Friday, as are the reading questions. Let's go over to our assignments page. I'm going to show you one big thing going on and maybe a small thing that's optional you might want to consider. So here's the big thing: the culmination of all your work this semester on the wicked problem. And if you just do a mental inventory, as I say right here, you started with your statement of it, and then the expert writing on it, the research, the deeper look, and more recently the hypothesis on a potential solution. All of those pieces will have a place in this essay if you locate them carefully. So I've set up the to-do list this time as kind of a kit if you follow the steps. Start with an original title. The cheap, quick, and messy way to do that is just take your wicked problem and how you framed it, and in as few words as possible, each word beginning with a capital letter, you've got your title. Then do some thinking about what Chevalier told you last week, selling the solution. And this is a great way to let Chevalier be your guide here as far as organizing your essay. And remember, this is going to be a little unusual. It was mentioned on the hypothesis assignment that was due last week. You've got to take a role here. As they used to say, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So figure out how you will take an active role. And I know you mentioned it in a sentence or so in the previous assignment on your hypothesis. Develop a whole paragraph this time around, if you will, and keep Chevalier present because he's given you a lot of good advice here. So be sure to give him credit where credit is due, like explaining the role he played in your thinking. And I just mentioned this, parts of the other essays. Now, this is going to be kind of a new wrinkle. Not everyone will readily agree with your solution. So help sell it a little bit more to a potential skeptical reader, someone who has doubts or might even outright disagree with your solution. So, as the authors of They Say, I Say in Chapter 6, start out with why someone would disagree. Use one of their templates, and then finish that paragraph with a defense of your solution. MLA all the way, right? So don't forget page format, in-text citation of sources, the works cited page, of course, and using page numbers when there are page numbers. This is also new. An appendix page. It's where you're going to put visual support. It may be a photo, it may be statistics in the form of a chart or a table. And see what you can come up with. It's a requirement. It will be the page after your last paragraph, but before your works cited page. It will be titled Appendix. And we'll do some work on that in coming weeks, so don't worry too much about it, but start thinking what you might want to use. And you can add a new source, as long as it fits, and as long as you cite it, of course. And this is also new, the design statement. A separate paragraph way beyond your works cited page on a next page, describing any computer software application, website, and online tool you used, how you used it, and what influence it had on your finished essay. And of course, I always have a list of things to avoid. You know about this because I told you on the Deeper Look essay that you want to keep your sources behind you, not out in front of you. You can have them in your paragraphs, of course, but have it down in the support of your paragraph rather than leading your paragraph. This is your essay, not theirs. Now, this is also new. If you want to quote, and you only should quote when it's really quotable, most of the time it's better to quote in your own words, which is called paraphrasing. You can shorten the quotation down to just the juicy bits by using these dots. They're called ellipses. I know people use them for other purposes, often incorrectly, but this is what they're mostly used for, are trimming quotations. And always make sure those quotations get introduced in the same sentence. Okay, just the same way you submitted the Deeper Look essay. It's due December 11th. Few things to keep in mind. It's the last essay at the end of the semester as we're wrapping up the semester, so I will accept it late with a 10% penalty, of course, but beyond the 18th, I can't. I'll have to turn in grades to the college. But if you want to turn it in on time and pick up 10% extra credit, all you need to do is make an appointment with a tutor at the Writing Center, have a tutoring session on your essay, work on it together, and at the end of your session with the tutor, ask the tutor to make sure that the Writing Center notifies me of your session. They'll take care of it, but you have to formally ask. Let me take you there. It's really easy to use. See where my cursor is down here? Right to the left of the assignment, right here on the screen. It's called M2C Online and In-Person Tutoring. Okay, there's the page. And there's the online tutoring and the hours. Face-to-face, make an appointment because, hey, it's going to be the end of the semester. It's going to look like a busy airport in there. So you want to make an appointment so you can get past the crowd and not have to stand in a long, long line. All right, so that's what's happening. And there's one more thing I should tell you, and you're going to like this. It's also an assignment. It's optional, this one you're about to see, for extra credit. That's right, more extra credit. 10 points. And it just is the writing assignment for another class you're taking this semester. Now, it has to be this semester and it has to be a writing assignment. I don't need to see your classwork for that assignment. I just need to see the instructions on the assignment. Do include the name of the instructor and the course number and class, like that, for instance, the instructions and the grading standards. And you can type that information right here. I'll show you what it'll look like. And just type right there and submit it. Easy peasy, worth a good 10 points. And not to be outdone, let me remind you of one final way to get extra credit. If you have a question about the assignment or course policies or requirements, all you need to do is drop into our class chat room and pick up 2 points for asking a question. Those are reading question points, which might come in handy if you didn't score a full 12 points on reading questions this semester. I'm always here to answer your questions and look forward to seeing what you're going to do with these assignments. Have a great week.